Before we dive into today's episode, we wanted to acknowledge how incredible of a day today is. Today is Mother's Day, which was created by a native West Virginian, Anna Jarvis. Our episode today is the top 5 fiercest females, and there is nothing more fierce than a mom. To quote Kevin Durant, you all are the real MVPs. However, we wanted to shout out 3 moms in particular. First, to my mom, happy Mother's Day. And thank you for always being an amazing supporter of the things I do, including this podcast. To quote you, go shawty, it's your day. Happy Mother's Day to my mother-in-law, Stephanie. You've raised an incredible young lady and are pretty awesome yourself.
Mom, I wanted to thank you for all you do. You bring so much joy into my life. This is kind of awkward, and I'm sure you feel the same way. But I'd just like to let you know that you're awesome. And you've raised an awesome kid. Thank you for always listening to my random facts on K-pop Demon Hunters and BTS.
To my wife, you are literally the most amazing person in the world. You're an incredible wife and mother, even if you have terrible taste in the Polar Express. I mean, really, what is that? All jokes aside, we love you. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms that are out there. Hope your family is doing a good job of taking care of you today. Thank you for tuning into the Generational Gauntlet Top 5 Faves. This is the podcast where we give you our top 5 on a topic with a generational twist to it. My name is Matt Lambert, and I'm the host of this podcast. Each week, I bring in a guest who's from a different generation than me to discuss or debate our top 5 on a selected topic. So, as a girl dad, I'm all about female empowerment. I also love a good film with a female protagonist who just gets after it. So today, we are covering the top 5 fiercest females in a film. And with that, I am bringing in one of the fiercest females that I know, a female you all have heard on the podcast, and notably, the person who is on the number 1 streamed episode in this podcast's history. So Nora, Gen Alpha, is back. She's claimed she needs to be on here monthly. And with her jujitsu exploits, I am a little afraid of her. Now, obviously, I'm kidding, but she's a tough kid who loves to train. I don't know what she's scared of. And when I thought of somebody to bring in for fiercest females in a film, she was the person that came to mind. Nora, welcome back. You excited for people to hear you again?
Yes.
Are you excited for this episode?
Yes.
All right. So for anybody out there that's a first-time listener, here is how the podcast works. Nora and I have put together a top 5 list of our top 5 fiercest females in a film. And that is a mouthful. I highly speculate that those listening are about to hear some K-pop Demon Hunters references from Nora. So Nora will kick things off. She'll give her number 5 and why. And I'll give my number 5 and why. And we'll continue taking turns until we work to each of our number 1s. So with that, Nora, I'm going to hand it over to you. Who is your number 5 fiercest female in a film?
I had to put this one on for you. My number 5 had to be Catwoman.
Ooh, okay.
In The Dark Knight Rises, the talented trickster Catwoman is introduced. The fearless woman was known to be manipulative, yet helpful to Batman during a famous action scene. Catwoman was also portrayed in Batman comics, but I've not read those. The movie's depiction of Catwoman shows a pretty young woman with a twisted fighting side. I had to choose this heroic trickster.
All right. I like that one, Nora. She is not on my list, but she would be in my top 10. So highly respect you having her on there. I think people will have heard, we record these episodes weeks in advance. People will have heard you're a big fan of the Batman franchise. That's correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you become a big fan. Who's your favorite, outside of Catwoman, who's your favorite character in the Batman franchise?
I would just like nobody get mad at me for this, but Bane.
Bane. Yeah, he's a good villain. I like Bane a lot. If there's ever a supervillain episode, he might be in my top 5. All right, you ready for my number 5?
Yes.
All right, Nora, I'm going to tell you I came up with some rules for myself on this list. This was just for me. These weren't rules that you agreed to, but the females on my list could not have superpowers. I could have included people like Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel, but I felt like that's cheating and doesn't really make them tough. So I went with women that they're not like supercharged, superpowered. And number 5 on my list could have been replaced by another female, but I included it as a shout out to my wife. In this house, we are huge Sandra Bullock fans. One of Madison's favorite movies all time is Miss Congeniality, starring Sandra Bullock in the role of Gracie Hart. Her portrayal in this movie and in Miss Congeniality 2 is my number 5. In the original Miss Congeniality, Hart is an FBI agent who has to go undercover in the Miss America pageant. I won't ruin the plot details, but she has to use her brains and her law enforcement skills to undercover a terrorist plot. She reprises this role in the 2005 sequel. But what I love about Hart in this movie is that she realizes she can still be an absolute powerhouse of an FBI agent while also being okay with a little romance and being proud of her appearance as well. So maybe not an entry with a hyper-aggressive female like Uma Thurman in Kill Bill, but this one's an ode to my wife. Nora, you recently watched this movie. Were you a fan of Miss Congeniality?
I was. It was pretty good.
It was pretty good. So, a couple things in the movie that maybe wouldn't be for a super, super young audience, but definitely one that's not super significant in the violence. So that's my number 5, Nora. I'll kick it over to you for your number 4.
You probably expected this, but my number 4 is Hermione Granger.
I did not
I
expect that.
love the Harry Potter books. Though the movies are not as fantastic as J.K. Rowling's incredible books, they still depicted Hermione Granger as the way she was in the series. Hermione is a genius girl known for loving learning and adoring books. She helped save Harry Potter and their friend Ron Weasley so many times, I lost count. Hermione is one of my favorite characters, and seeing her outsmart deadly villains is amazing. She is a fearless genius and is an unforgettable character in the movies and the books.
Nora, I like that one. I should have seen it coming. I did not. I did not think of you having Hermione on your list, but I know you're a big Harry Potter fan, big Hermione fan, so should not have come as a shock to me this evening. All right, my number 4. I'm going the animated route for this one, and it's Merida from the 2012 movie Brave. Nora, did you like the 2012 movie Brave?
I was hoping it was going to be a K-pop Demon Hunters character, but here we go.
No, it was not. So this movie is set in the Scottish Highlands, and Princess Merida bucks tradition and causes chaos for her kingdom by expressing the desire to remain like a Beyoncé lyric and be a single lady. Merida was Pixar's first female protagonist in history. In the movie, she has to deal with her mother being turned into a bear and has to save her kingdom. In this movie, she's a master with a bow and arrow, and she's also able to fight. Unlike what I think we see in a lot of Disney movies where they are a damsel in distress and they're looking for a man, Merida did not need no man, and she was comfortable being herself, which I love. Merida's the type of princess that girls can get behind, knowing that they can fully handle themselves. And Nora, what are your thoughts on me having Merida on my list?
Forgot she existed.
Okay, so you're not very impressed with number 4 on my list. That's all right.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Wow. You're coming out swinging today.
I wanted you to have a K-pop Demon Hunter character instead.
The K-pop Demon Hunters would not even be in the top 25 of my fiercest females in a film.
Oh, get ready.
All right, well, let me hand it over to you. There are 3 of those girls in the movie, so I expect I'm about to hear one of them now. What is your number 3 fiercest female in a film?
My number 3, I'm honestly kind of scared of. My number 3 had to be Mira. This Huntress girl is from K-pop Demon Hunters. Mira is the fearless hunter and the lead dancer of Huntrix. She's also the choreographer. She is kind of scary, and her desire is to crush demons and to please fans. Mira did not have a good childhood, yet she became one of the 3 fearless Huntress girls despite the discouragement she faced from her family. For this, Mira had to be number 3.
I'm not surprised by her being your number 3. Even though they're not on my list, if I had to rank them in those ladies in a top 3, she would be number 3 for me as well. She just, I'm a little freaked out by her as well. I agree with you on that. So not my favorite of the K-pop demon hunters. I know why she made your number 3. All right, Nora, my number 3. I'm standing by my rule of no superheroes, but that doesn't mean that I can't have someone from a superhero movie.
Hmm.
Black Widow from the Marvel Cinematic Universe is my number 3. Scarlett Johansson plays one of the toughest and most iconic women in the MCU. Throughout 9 films, we got to see the character of Black Widow. She's a highly trained former assassin turned secret agent who has a fluid fighting style and is able to take out villains while outnumbered, outgunned, and even in one iconic scene while tied to a chair. What set her above a bunch of the other females on my list is that Black Widow is doing this without any superpowers. But she is in movies where they're battling Nordic gods, aliens, robots, and any other weird supercharged item you can think of. And she isn't a damsel in distress. She's holding her own in these battles. This is like going into a fight with one hand tied behind your back and both of your feet tied together. It's impressive, and it's why she made number 3 on my list. Nora, what are your thoughts on Black Widow?
Well, I haven't really seen any of the Black Widow films.
No, you have. She's in the Avengers movies.
Oh, yeah, her.
Blonde-haired lady in the movies.
Oh, her.
All right, what are your thoughts now that you know who she is?
Well, she was pretty powerful, I guess.
Okay, so I guess you're okay with me having her on my list. I'll take it. I think as good as I'm going to get. All right, let's hear your next K-pop demon hunter with number 2 on your list.
How did you know? My number 2 had to be Zoe.
I saw that coming.
Zoe's a rapper and lyricist of Hundreds. She's funny, cheerful, but fearless. Watching Zoe destroy demons brings me pure joy. She's one of my favorite characters from the incredible film. She too faced problems. She was born in America and was forced to split her time between singing in Korea and being with her family in America. Eventually, she chose Korea to help defend the world from demons and Sailor Moon. Zoe is absolutely amazing.
I fully expected her to be your number 2. While they're not in my top 5, if I had to rank the K-pop demon hunter, Zoe would also be my second K-pop demon hunter. I think you're aware of that. I can respect the rap game. I like hip-hop, so I'm okay with you having her as number 2. All right, you ready for my number 2?
Yes?
Nora, my list would not be complete without an entry from West Virginia's own Jennifer Garner. So Jennifer Garner starred in this gritty 2018 film called Peppermint, in which she plays Riley North. And I personally think a lot of people are sleeping on Jennifer Garner as an action star. Yes, she was on the long-running show Alias, but I think people focus on her work in romantic comedies. In Peppermint, North, played by Garner, is a mother and wife who loses her family as innocent bystanders in a tragic act of violence. After the justice system fails her due to some corruption by criminal organizations, North disappears, becomes a trained martial artist, and becomes highly trained with weaponry. While she does some stuff in the film that's not on the up and up, she goes from this reserved and even bullied mother to a woman dismantling a criminal enterprise and exposing corruption within the justice system. This movie is just a gritty masterpiece and is not like much of Garner's later work in her career. For this film, she trained for a year to incorporate MMA skills. She practiced with firearms with Navy SEALs. She trained in boxing, stunt work, and knife and gun handling for the film. For a mom becoming a lethal weapon in the course of less than a 2-hour film, she had to make my list. And also, I'm from West Virginia, so having a West Virginia actress in there is not going to hurt. Nora, do you even know who Jennifer Garner is?
Heard of her.
Okay. After we get off this podcast this evening, I'll show you a picture of her so you know exactly who I'm talking about. Nora, I'm going to get ready to hand it over to your number 1. I think I know who it is, but I think everybody knows who it is, but hit us with it. Who's your number one on
Oh,
your
who do you
list?
think it is?
I think your number one is Rumi of the K-pop Demon Hunters.
You absolute mind reader. It is Rumi. The
Why
leader
is she your
of
number one?
The leader of Huntrix is an excellent character. Besides having an incredible voice, Rumi is plagued by a secret that affects her singing. She hides it from her friends and pretends that her voice is just in trouble. Rumi is twisted with her lie, and the demon boy band, the Saja Boys, are stealing her and her friends' fans. Rumi has complicated thoughts on the opposing band's leader, Genu. Killing demons and singing becomes harder and harder for this fearless heroine. Rumi is one of my favorite characters for this film, and she's an amazing example of being yourself.
Nora, again, not on my list, but I can see why she's on your list as your number one of the K-pop Demon Hunters. She is the only one that I'd be like, yeah, I'd want to have her, at my 6 if we're throwing down in a fight. So of the K-pop Demon Hunters, she's the one that I think is the coolest or the most fiercest of the 3. So
Zoe's
I'll
cool.
do what?
Zoe is cool.
I mean, Zoe's cool. I just don't see her as like a fiercest female for me.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, okay.
So Nora,
She
I'll
raps
hit you.
faster than you can, so you're just
Well,
jealous.
lots of people rap faster than I can because I'm not a rapper. So there's that going for me. All right, I'm going to hit you with my number one. I think you are aware of this character and you're not aware of them within the film world. We need to get you on the up and up for the film. So my number one is Katniss Everdeen of the Hunger Games trilogy, which is actually 4 movies since there was a part 1 and part 2 of the third film. And Katniss is portrayed by Jennifer Lawrence. Nora, I think you tried to read the Hunger Games book, right?
No, it didn't.
Okay, see, I thought you had tried to read it. Maybe you got it from the library, didn't actually partake. But for anybody listening that's read the books or watched the films, you know that in this dystopian world, each district is required to send 1 male and 1 female competitor to fight in a deadly game. And Katniss volunteers as tribute so that her younger sister will not have to fight. Katniss is an expert archer who uses that skill both in combat and in retaliation against her government in the films. Not only is she effective in winning battles and surviving the Hunger Games, but she's also effective in undermining the very corrupt and very illegal organization that's running the world at that time. Katniss is like a cross between a live-action Merida and George Washington. I don't want to go super deep into the plot or her role, as Nora has not yet seen these films, but for her selflessness, her compassion for people in a very deadly game, her wit, and her fighting ability to survive, and taking on basically a supervillain that's running the government, she is my number one. Nora, hearing that, have I convinced you to want to watch The Hunger Games?
Probably won't be as good as K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm offended that you did not at least have Zoe on your list.
You know, Nora, I was going to ask you what beef you had with my list, but I assumed your beef is that there are no K-pop Demon Hunters on the list, right?
I'm mad.
You're mad? Well,
I'm
I
mad.
know that I got to find a topic in the future where you can't bring in the K-pop Demon Hunters. That's my goal on this podcast, is to bring you on for an episode where they can't make an appearance.
Oh, don't worry. That will never happen.
You'll always find a way.
Always.
Well, Nora, I appreciate you for jumping on here for another episode. You are the person that's made the most appearances, and as I mentioned, you got the highest streamed episode on the podcast. So thank you for coming on. Anything you want to tell the listeners before we sign off here?
Should have had Rumi on your list.
Another dig at me.
Disappointed in you.
Okay. Well, lots of people are. That's okay. Hopefully those listening aren't disappointed in this podcast. And if you're not, subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review. Let someone else know to check this podcast out. I want this podcast to cover topics that interest you. If you have a top 5 list that you'd like us to rank, I take suggestions at generationalfave5@gmail.com. That's generational, FAVE, the number 5, @gmail.com. Thank you all for tuning in.